This is Callum Corral and welcome to Kicktalk Reboot. In today's programme we have a match report from one of the shocks results of the day today, Largs versus Maybole. We also have a results roundup and also goal scorers from around the grounds, and we also have details of the Scottish Cup, Senior Cup today involving Halford United and Auchinleck Talbot. But firstly, on to today's junior results. Stagecoach Premier Division. Arthurlie 3, Troon 1. Beath 4, Shotts 2. Clydebank 0, Oven Meadow 1. Kilbirnie 5, Cumnock 1. Petershill 4, Glenafton 3. Stagecoach Super League First Division. Cumbernauld 7, Neilston 3, Greenock 1, Robroy 2, Ovenvix 2, Yoker 2, Kilsyth 1, Ardere 2, Largthistle 0, Maybole 5, Shettleston 3, Pollock 2, Thornywood 1, Rutherglen 1. Stagecoach Ayrshire District League. Winton Rovers 8, Kellow Rovers 0, Darvel 3, Anbank 1, Lugar Boswell 4, Muirkirk 0, Kilwinning Rangers 3, Saltcoats 2, Craigmark 1, Whitlets 1. Stagecoach Central District First. Larkhall 5, Benburb 0, Blantyre 2, St Anthony's 1, Lesmahagle 2, Lanark 1, Maryhill 4, Carluke 2, Renfrew 3, Ashfield 1, Vale of Clyde 1, Dunnypace 2, Wishaw 1, Bellshill 3. Stagecoach Central District 2nd. Forth Wanderers 0, Rossvale 4, East Kilbride 1, Port Glasgow Juniors 3, Glasgow Pershire 3, St Rochs 1, Royal Albert 0, Johnsonborough 1, and New Mains United 2, Vale of Leithen 5. And it's on to today's match report from Largs Thistle versus Maybole. The score was Largs Thistle 0, Maybole 5. Maybole's Patterson latched on to Largs defender Nicky Jimson's wayward header from a long throw, but slid the ball across the face of goal from the right hand side in 10 minutes. A fierce diagonal effort from Ian Fisher for Thistle was well saved by Scott Johnson in reply. McGrady tasted the Largs keeper Weir with a low-drilled effort from 8 yards, and Mark Dolan raced clear but blasted wide. Then winger Sean Lawrence did likewise for the home team. Ewan Lindsay showed good technique to hit a diagonal angled volley just wide of the left-hand post in 23 minutes, and James Marks launched a volley over the bar after Jameson's long ball on the half-hour mark. Marks had the ball in the net after an angled shot from the right-hand side, but the offside flag was raised. But Johnston smashed over a good effort from 12 yards for Maybole as half-time approached. So at half-time it was scoreless, and there was no sign of the drama that was to follow. But on 48 minutes it was Dyer who steamed in at the far post to score from Stevenson's cross from the left to put Maybole 1-0 ahead. McGrady put Stevenson through to flick the ball home to put the visitors 2-0 up in 56 minutes. It was a cute finish, and Ewan Lindsay replied for Largs, a swerving shot which went round the right hand post as Largs looked to fashion an opportunity to get back into this match. But in 61 minutes Largs were crumbling. Cunningham's cross and Stevenson finished off in style as Maybole made it 3-0, and then Cunningham again was the provider, this time setting up Stevenson for his hat-trick. So Largs were in real trouble. 4-0 Maybole, and Maybole continued to turn the screw. Cunningham turned from supplier to goal scorer with a well taken fifth after a good run. He gambled and managed to get into the box, hit a 12-yard effort on 72 minutes, 5-0, and Maybole could have made it even more as one of their substitutes. he fired wide after a good opening. So all in all, it was a very devastating display by Maybole in that second half, and they will be very happy to collect full points. And they've made a good start to they've made a good start to the league. The Ayrshire side, certainly. Unbeaten after 3 games. As for Sorry Largs, they are going to have to take a serious look at themselves. They're still without a win in this league, and they will have to really address matters quickly, as it is a very cutthroat league. I'm with Peter Leonard, from the manager of Maybole, after a fairly impressive, it has to be a stunning even, 5-0 victory at Largs. You must have been quite impressed with your side, to say the least.
I was impressed with them in the second half, without doubt, but certainly in the first half we seem to be suffering from the previous 2 results. There's a bit of a hangover from that. We're a team who certainly need to get the ball down and past, and it happened in the second half for us. And with Andy Stephen at age 36 still putting the ball in the net, makes it far easier for when these chances are converted.
Good goals as well, though. I mean, good finishes. I mean, the chances were kind of good crosses, but there was some flicks, there was some good imagination in the goals.
Well, the training, we have the ball down a lot in training. Everybody knows the way Maybole have been trying to play over recent seasons, and it's difficult sometimes to stand by or commit to passing the ball, but we've done it for the last umpteen years, and that's our intention, is to continue doing it that way, and it's certainly paid dividends today.
Yeah, and let us say, looking at it as well, it was maybe a tough first half. There was chances for both teams, but the first goal was always going to be crucial.
The first goal was going to be crucial, but I don't think anyone saw that coming at half time. I certainly didn't see it coming, and there was that spell of about 15-20 minutes whereby 4 goals rattled in, and that's just the way football can be sometimes. It's all about confidence and getting that edge. We've been in this league umpteen years, in the last 10, and certainly when you're in this league, you know the first goal is very important in these games. Yeah. Looking at it, you've had a very good season so far. You've not had, like you say, you did quite well. You were unlucky losing to Auchinleck, only 2-1 at Beechwood Park. Had some great victories as well, 3-0 against Premier Tune, but today maybe topped it. This would be the second half would be our best performance of the season. Certainly a big improvement from last week where we were at home to Nielsen. The Cumbernauld result, people think was a good point, but again, with the penalty at 2-1, we should have went to 3-1 and we could be higher up the league. But no, we'll take what we've got so far. It's going to be a very competitive season in this league again, and we're hoping to improve in last year's league position. In terms of what do you think in terms of your hopes for promotion? Unbeaten so far, albeit only 3 games in. It's a long road, as you've said, but you would be fairly hopeful after today's result that you can maybe hopefully go places. Well, the hope was last year when we finished 4th in the division. I think a lot of people forget that. So we've been discounted this year because of the likes of the Pollocks and Rutherglen's, etc. They've been strengthened over the pre-season. But it's always difficult in this league. The important thing is to get a half-decent start there. You're not out of this championship race, but we're looking to push on from last season. And if Lady Luck shines on us, you never know what can happen. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Thank you. All the best. With Largs Thistle manager Sandy McLean after Largs Thistle's 5-0 defeat to Maybole. Obviously a real sickener there, Sandy.
I'm shell-shocked. Absolute shell-shocked. Don't know what to say to you this week, Callum. There's no excuses. You know, it's really, don't make me disrespectful to any team we play, but I felt we are far better than that performance would suggest. First half I thought we controlled the game. Second half we're never in the game.
Yeah. The thing that occurred to me was that, I mean, we still had the same number of chances as we maybe did against Rutherglen, particularly in the first half. Those chances coming for Largs, they dried up. The first goal was really the turning point.
The reaction for the players after losing the first goal was unacceptable. Just told them that. I say the first half I thought we played well. You're right, we created chances with balls in the box, with lots of crosses, and then to lose, I don't know even what it was, 4 goals in 15 minutes or something. Shambles, absolute shambles.
Can you put your finger on it, what it was that just went wrong? Because, like I say, Maybole just suddenly went up a gear, and Largs just looked like they almost like they didn't know each other at the back.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm not going to make any excuses of injuries and suspensions. That's not what I'm going to do here at all. We need to take responsibility. You're right. You know, we've got a cobbled together back four. Stevie Kell had to go and play in there, and he did fine. Stevie did as well as he could. I feel that today it was my senior players that kind of let me down. My senior players, my young players will have bad games, and at that point they need a wee bit of leadership, and I don't think they got that today.
Disappointing as well that despite the scoreline they couldn't get a consolation, didn't get a goal, despite, let's say, a fair number of chances in the first half, dried up a bit in the second, but that must be a real worry, that the lack of goals at home, 2 games and no goals.
No, listen, I just says that, we scored 1 league goal this season, 3 games, and that was my centre back scored it. it's not through lack of playing and practice and trying to get them to open things up, which they're doing to an extent. But we seem to have this. We want the perfect goal. We want to play like Arsenal. We want a perfect goal. Something drops in the box, you need to hit it. Sometimes it comes off your shin and flies in the net. But we don't. We want another touch, and you just think it's not going to work like that. So we're just not sharp enough in and around the penalty box.
And thanks to Sandy McLean there, obviously that must have been tougher after the 5-0 defeat. Now it's on to our goal scorers roundup, and first we move into the William Hill Scottish Cup first round, and it was great news for the Ayrshire sides today. Hulford scored a magnificent 7 at Clacknacurran. It was Morrison who opened the score though for the Highlanders, but last season's Scottish Junior Cup champs then went on the rampage. Ex-Ayr United forward Stuart Keane scored a hat-trick, 2 of which came from the spot, and there were doubles too for Paul McKenzie and Chris Robertson. It was similarly a good afternoon for Auchinleck Talbot. Last week's Super League champions racked up a 5-0 win over Buckie Thistle. The goals came from Wilson, Gormley, White, Pope and Conley at Beechwood Park, and the second round draw is on Monday at 1:30. And on to the Stagecoach Super Premier League now. Beath showed their battling qualities to come back from 2-1 down at home to Shotts, running out 4-2 winners for the second week running. The goal scorers were Darren Christie, Paul Freeze, Andy Reid and David McGowan. Ex-Rob Roy striker Willie Sawyers scored the only goal of the game as Meadow won 1-0 at Clydebank. Stewart, Rushford and Dallas won the score sheet for Athley in a 3-1 victory over Troon, with Gareth Armstrong replying. And then Quinn, he opened the score for Cumnock at Valefield Park, but Kilbirnie were rampant. They ended up 5-1 winners, with Dyack and Craig among the goal scorers there. And Glenafton were ahead after only 10 seconds against Petershill as Kinney went on and netted a double, but the Peasy bounced back and they managed to win 4-3 in the game of the day. And into the First Division, Cumbernauld were the big winners with a 7-3 win over Neilston in a match which included 4 penalties. Winters and Clark scored for Pollock, but it was not enough as Shetterson pulled off a 3-2 victory. Invicts were 2-0 up on Yoka after an Adams double, but Yoka fought back to gain a point thanks to Maitland and Arbuckle, and a Hunter double put Rob Roy in the ascendancy as they won 2-1 in Greenock. A towering header from Alan Fleming put Thorneyone 1-0 up on inform Rutherglen, but the visitors pulled a goal back thanks to an equaliser from Jamie Gilmartin, who fired home a free kick to net his 4th goal in as many appearances since joining the club. And in the Ayrshire District League, special mention must go to Winton Rovers, who won 8-0 over Kello. The goals came from Gilgannon, a double from Cashmore, Caddis, Smith, Browning and Hamilton. So, there we have it. In the Super Premier League, Meadow lead the way with 9 points, 3 points over Talbot, who, as we know, didn't play today as they won Scottish Senior Cup action. While in the Super First Division, 4 teams share top spot: Rob Roy, Ardea, Shettleston and Rutherglen. Co-winning lead the way in the Ayrshire District League with a 100% record on 9 points, as do Renfrew in the Central League first, and Glasgow, Pershat and Rossvale also have unblemished records with 9 points each at the top of the Central second. That's it for this weekend's Kicktalk. Thanks for joining us and goodbye.